On the tiny Caribbean island of Curacao, a handful of guys is playing Fantasy Battles, a tabletop war game. On this day, the Arrowacks Gaming Club has organized a one-day tournament.
Warhammer is a war game, obviously, just like chess and checkers, except that it's a bit more detailed. So instead of using chess pieces and checker pieces, you use model soldiers, and with the help of these rule books, you move your soldiers around, you roll to see how far they run, you roll to see if they hit or not in combat and when shooting, and you roll to see if their leadership, if their morale, their discipline is strong enough for them to keep fighting. I have impact hits and I have stomp. Yeah, that's why I like monsters.
What I really like about the game is how one can assume the position of the general of an army and you command your troops to do your bidding. The story is very amazing. I've been through 11 years of story and it changes with the years, and it's really fun to see the direction that they take the story of the game.
What it is I like about the Warhammer, basically everything. It's the lore, the background, the stories about all the armies, also the competitive part about it, designing your army lists. Those are the things I really enjoy doing, and of course playing it in the end. Yeah, so it's the whole package basically.
Warhammer Fantasy Battles was developed by Games Workshop in England in the early 80s.
There already existed rules for games on the tabletop with model soldiers. But I think it's safe to say that at least a century old for the oldest rules. In the 60s, 70s, a man called Gary Gygax developed a game called Dungeons and Dragons, which is a role-playing game. Role-playing game is where you take the role of a fantasy character, and this fantasy character then gets into all kinds of adventures under the guidance of a games master, a GM. Now, if you mix these together, what you get is basically Warhammer.
1, 2, 3, 6, 8. Que armas heeft dat?
There are a bunch of different variables you have to take into account. You have not only your own army, but the army of the opponent. You have terrain, you have different dice you have to throw, so there is a very big mathematical factor in the game. So it's very, you can always take a different tactic, there are a bunch of variables, and that keeps it interesting.
It's pretty much going to the core basics of army building games, so that's the thing I like about it. It's kind of random at times, so even though you have a tactic in mind, it doesn't always work out, so you need to improvise on the spot.
I use dwarves, and I used a lot of shooting and just stand still with one strong unit, and then when he comes close I charge him and then kill him. So kind of build my own strategy around that, and that's what I've basically been doing also for this tournament. Just standing still, waiting, shooting, and then go for the final kill.
The army I'm using at the moment is Warriors of Chaos. They are warriors that pray to dark gods, and the army that I built today is especially built on cavalry troops. So horsemen and a couple of monsters assisting the army. So my tactic for this army is strike quick and strike hard. Let's hope nothing fails me. May the dark gods give me their eternal blessing.
Hoe gaat het hier?
Ja, het is nu is het spannend geworden. Nu zijn we echt aan het vechten.
Oké, wie is aan het winnen?
Nog steeds een beetje gelijk. Dus dat zijn de hits.
Wat is nou het leukste moment in het spel?
Wanneer je actually aan het vechten bent. Want in het begin is het heel veel maneuvering en met schieten en zo. Maar als je actually in combat bent, en vooral hangt ook af van je army. Mijn army is dus om te vechten. Zo. Als ik ga vechten ben ik blij. Dat vind ik het beste moment.
Slow down. So he got 3.
And who's the winner of the tournament?
Good question. The GM is counting.
The GM is counting it, but we already know he has 25 points, so he's the highest, unfortunately. And I'm number 2.
Guess who gets the Iron Throne?
After the 10-hour tournament, Games Master George can call himself the champion.
Thanks for a good tournament, guys.
Danny.